This video is for educational and entertainment use only. The views in this video do not necessarily represent the views or life of Marlon Dixon.
Welcome back to Duffle LO, to sit down, you guys, and we're still talking about Russia. You gotta understand Russia. I just told you last video, the historian ended up warning about that we getting ready to be in the Super Cold War 2022. Y'all understand all these sanctions that's been going on. Biden said you can't do this. Biden said you can't do that. The UN saying you can't do this. A lot of other countries that's our allies saying Russia can't do this. A lot of stuff is going on. So let me go ahead and share my screen so I can show you guys what's going on. If it's your first time to the video and the channel, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, leave a comment below. We would greatly appreciate you share the video. And this is what we into right here. You see that right there. Let's guys read that while I move myself down. Russia's finance minister has admitted the country can't use nearly half of its 640 billion foreign currency war chest because of Western sanctions. Half of that, let's say 320 million, they can't use it. What billion? 320 billion? What? They can't even use it. Look at this. Also, right here, President Biden to announce an additional 800 million in military aid for Ukraine. This is what's going on. We just this live. This happened right now today, March 16th. He gonna get ready and go and do that right. Let me explain this to you. We just sent them like 1.6 billion. Now he's sending them another 800 million. Like that's 2 billion you just sent them. We got people out here starving. Gas high as hell right now. Why you ain't send that to the gas stations so we go to the gas station to get some free gas or something? You send that over there, but hey, it is what it is. But I'm just here to show y'all that this is what it is. I'm glad this stuff happened right here. Well, I ain't glad that it happened, but you guys get to see this. You know what I mean? But let's get into the article though. It's from Huling Tan, March 13, 2022. 3 days ago, y'all. 3 days ago. Look at that. I don't know if is that gas? I don't know if that's gas or what that is. The ruble has plunged after the West imposed sweeping sanctions on Russia. It's going down, everything in red over there. Russia's finance minister has admitted that nearly half of the country's foreign currency reserves are unusable. Anton Solonov said in a state TV interview that $300 billion of Russia's $640 billion reserves were frozen by sanctions. Cold War, super Cold War. Remember he said it's super Cold War. Russia's foreign reserves are seen as a crucial tool for countering Western economic sanctions. So they got money in other currencies, but it's in the bank. So they froze the money in the bank so they can't get access to the currencies in the bank. So then they can't even use it. So that's that. That's what happened. Russia's finance minister has admitted that the country can't use nearly half its foreign exchange reserves, which are seen as a crucial tool for countering Western economic sanctions. In an interview with Russian state television Sunday, Anton Solomon said Russia held about 640 billion in foreign reserves, and about 300 billion of that amount was frozen under the sanctions imposed by the U.S., Europe, and other Western nations, according to a report by Interfax, the independent Russian news agency. Western nations have applied sweeping sanctions aimed at crippling Russia's economy after it invaded Ukraine. The first wave of sanctions targeted Russia's central bank and its foreign exchange reserves, inhibiting Russia's ability to prop up its economy and finance its war. So we're gonna get into what happened with the money pretty soon. But what they saying is we freeze their assets. Same thing with the Cold War. When I first thought about the Cold War, I thought it was just cold outside. That doesn't mean with the Cold War. No, they being cold with what they doing, and they sanctioning you, saying you can't do this, you can't do this. So they putting so many sanctions on you that is nothing that you can do. As you can see, they got $300 billion that they can't even use, but they got to pay their army. So now they got to come up with this. They still got to come up with the money to pay their army, but that's $300 billion that they can't even use. Now, if it's in foreign currencies, let's say it's the US dollars, and the US dollar going down in value, that means the longer that 300 billion sitting in US dollars is losing value the whole time. Literally the whole time. So they needed that to, do what they needed to do and help out the economy with all these sanctions. But the sanctions actually end up hurting the economy. Like, it's crazy. Russia held $100 billion or 60% of look, speaking, I say that too fast. I should have read it down a little more. Russia held $100 billion or 16% of its foreign reserves in US dollars of June 2021, according to Bloomberg, which cited figures from the country's central bank. Another 30% of foreign reserves were held in euros. That's 48%. That's almost half their money they done had in the US or a U.S. ally. Now, think about this. This was so crazy. Russia supplies Europe with 40% of its oil. So 40% of the oil that Europe imports is from Russia, yet they sanction them. So the U.S. also buys oil from Russia. So now they got these U.S. dollars because they selling their oil. They got these euros because they selling their oil. So now they, U.S. and Europe, they got the oil. Russia got their money, but they can't even use. You see that? So it's like it's cold world in the Cold War. Russia's relations with China remain a bright spot for the Kremlin. What I tell y'all, watch some China videos, go back, watch some China videos. However, in his Sunday interview, Solomon noted pressure was being applied by Western countries on Beijing to restrict Russia's use of its yuan-dominated reserves, which made up 13% of its foreign reserves in June last year. So they hitting them with the 16% from America, 32% from Europe, and then they trying to stop their 13% from China. Note, keyword, try, but watch this. Go back 3 videos. Remember I just told you, high pressure. See, I said high pressure on foreign trade. You gotta, these words, you gotta key in on them because this article is linked to this article. But if you don't know where both of the articles at, you won't understand what's being said. You will miss the message. That's why I'm bringing you the message to show you, look, I just told y'all learn the language, you will be able to understand and see it. Now, finding these articles, you got to go far and wide to find them. But once you understand it, you'll get it. Certainly, pressure is being mounted in order to restrict access to the reserves that we placed in yuan, Sullivan said, according to Interfax. But I believe that our partner relations with China will nevertheless allow us to maintain the cooperation that we have reached. Not just maintain, but multiplied in an environment where Western markets are closing. Listen to that. Not just maintain, but multiply it in an environment where Western markets are they gonna crash the goddamn stock market over here. And it's gonna be in Hong Kong now. And Russia already understand this. This is what they literally tell you. That's why we have a partner relate. Your partner is like this. Your friend is like this. You get that? Partner, friend, partner, friend. They in cahoots with each other. Like I told, go watch them China videos. These are the Russian videos. Go watch the China videos. They working together with all this. You got to understand this stuff. China has not publicly condemned Russia's war with Ukraine or referred to it as an invasion. China, we ain't got nothing to do with that. We just gonna go ahead, sit back, relax. We're gonna see what y'all doing. Y'all need some wine. Y'all can use our wine. But I'm gonna show you what's gonna get ready to happen with that. According to Interfax, Silonov reiterated Sunday that Russia would pay its foreign currency sovereign debt in rubles until it could access its international reserves. Now they didn't tank the ruble, and if they paying a debt in rubles, you ain't getting no bang for your buck. I think it's absolutely fair when we say that we don't refuse to meet state obligations. We will pay them in rubles until our foreign exchange reserves are unfrozen, he said, citing the need to pay for critical imports such as food and medicines. That's why they needed these foreign reserves, to make sure that their people still is okay. The ruble has plunged since the invasion of Ukraine. It's down about 40% against the US dollar year to date. And it's only March. They killing the ruble. There are growing concerns that Russia could default on its debt. Cold War. On Sunday, the IMF, International Monetary Fund Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva told CBS Face the Nation that in terms of service and debt obligations, I can say that no longer we think of Russian default as improbable event. So they saying it's almost guaranteed that they finna default on this debt, which is what they trying to do. So now they default on debt. We need our money. They got our money locked up over there. No, we don't. Who told y'all to invade them? Ain't nobody told y'all to invade them. Y'all did that. They did that. But we still need our money. We ain't got nothing to do with that. We ain't got nothing to do with y'all war, y'all sanctions, and all that. We need our money. We a creditor. You borrow money, you pay us our money. That's how they looking at it. Russia's gold holdings are also under scrutiny. A bipartisan group of U.S. senators have proposed a law that will prevent Russia from accessing its $132 billion gold stockpile. Axios reported Tuesday. Russia's central bank has stepped up its gold purchases since it invaded Ukraine, which is right here. This right here. This, y'all see this right here? You see that? We're gonna talk about Russia stepping up its gold buying. As y'all clearly see in this article, since they invaded, they started buying more gold. But you see, the U.S. is basically trying to stop them from touching $132 billion in gold. So now I don't know if they have it over here in the U.S. or where it is, but the U.S. is putting all these sanctions on. You can't use the U.S. dollar. You can't use your reserves in the Europe. We're trying to stop them using the yuan, and we stopping you from being able to access all of your gold. So because all these sanctions is on them, that's gonna make them default on their debt. But in reality, they really got enough money to pay their debt. But what it is they can't access their money because of the sanctions. But they got sanctioned because they invaded. So if they would have never invaded, they would have had all this money. But this how they trying to get them together. Don't do that. So now as soon as they, let's say they pull out of Ukraine, they pull out. Now they got access to all that money. Now their country go right back up and flourishes. You get it? You have to destroy to build. It's the same thing, no matter how you look at it. You have to destroy to build. So they're trying to destroy the economy to build it back. But they want them to stop doing certain things that they're doing. But in reality, Russia's saying, we're not joining NATO. We don't want Ukraine being right here in our backyard, front yard, whatever it is. We don't want them joining NATO either, because everywhere a NATO nation is, the US is. And NATO, all one fight, all fight. So no, y'all too close right there. Y'all might put a missile right there. And that's so close to my country. I ain't got time for that. I can't even stop the missile from hitting me because it's right there. That's why when you look into it, y'all already looked into it, when Russia was invading Ukraine, they was hitting all their military bases. They making sure they hitting it just in case something fly up. We hitting that. We ain't playing with them. So they knew what they was doing. It's a strategy of war. That's just what it is. But that's all I got to say for this video. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you did learn something, leave a comment below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and all that. Share the video. Get this information out here. This is how I'm putting it together, so I can show y'all step by step how to walk through this process to really be able to read what's really truly going on. So, like I said, don't underestimate family, friends, lovers, enemies. Look objectively. No matter what city, state, or country is in, every hood is the same. If nobody told you they love you today, I'm gonna tell you right now, because I love you guys. That's why I do this. I research this information, bring it to you guys to show you, like, look, this is what's going on. You got to make some moves. I can't tell you what moves to make, but I'm gonna show you the information, and then you should know what moves to make because I'm showing you what's going on. So that's all I gotta say for this video. Duffle. Make sure you guys get the book.
This video is for educational and entertainment use only. The views in this video do not necessarily represent the views or life of Marlon Dixon.